What's going on, everybody? It's Durka of Whataweeb bringing you another Should You Pull video to see if this new 5-star coming up is worth pulling. Thanks for 3K subs, by the way, everyone. We apologize. We missed a couple live reacts, but it's been really busy right now. And honestly, let's just jump into Enkidu. Don't ask me if Enkidu is a guy or a girl, but some of you might even ship Enkidu and Gilgamesh a little bit. And by some people, I really mean most of the community, which is perfectly fine. Still don't know if it's guy, girl, clay doll, whatever you want to call it. But let's see if maybe you should burn your quartz to pull this Lancer for your husbando Gil, or if you don't have Gil. Anyway, we jumping into the card setup. He has a quick Arts Buster card setup. A very high star gen setup. He hits 4 times on his quick, 5 on his arts, with a single hit on his buster, with 6 hits on the extra attack. His MP gem isn't crazy high, but he has a huge star gen, which kind of helps balance it out. Being a quick focused servant and quick not having the support they really need, it's kind of tough. And it doesn't help that he has a buster NP, so it's a very interesting kind of setup for him specifically. Jumping into the skills, skill 1, Transfiguration A. Increases own buster performance for 1 turn, awesome. Then randomly increases quicks or arts performance for 1 turn. These are both 50% buffs, and they're on a 5-turn cooldown. So that is very short, but it is unreliable. You have 3 quick cards and 1 arts card. If you're using this buff to maybe get a nice quick chain damage off, or maybe a buster quick chain, and you get the arts buff, it's kind of like, You know, a lot of the servants in this game aren't judged on how much potential damage they can do, it's how consistently they can do that damage. But because it's so unreliable, chances are you will use this buff only with your NP, just to get at least the NP damage boost, because 50% is still a lot, and you're gonna have to hope for a decent chain out of it. It is potentially a huge spike in damage every 5 turns, but that unreliability is very annoying to me personally. There are ways around this with card shuffle and other things later on, but then you're just running a bunch of things for the sake of running a bunch of things. Once again, these are all my opinions. If you guys do not agree with them, let me know in the comment section below. Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe I'm not. Who knows? Moving on to Presence Detection A+. Well, it got buffed to A++. Before its update, the skill was a pretty niche debuff skill. Once it gave Enkidu an evade, it became actually really good. So if you guys didn't know, it reduces one enemy's critical attack chance for 3 turns for about 50% and removes their evasion buffs. And then when it got buffed, it gave self-evasion to Enkidu for 1 turn. Also on a 5-turn cooldown. It's a interesting skill because there's not that many remove evade skills in the game. I think Jack comes to mind to remove buffs, but other than that, off the top of my head, I'm not thinking of too many. So he definitely has that niche right there, and the fact that it gave him that evasion, it really does help his tankiness. Because honestly, when it comes to Enkidu, I really think tankiness based off his kit and his unit and everything else. And now third skill, Consummated Shape. Wow, this is a wow skill. It recovers own HP and removes own debuffs. So, you know, it gets rid of his own debuffs and removes opponent's buffs. Pretty cool. And this skill literally heals 5k HP at level 1. And 10k at level 10. That's a huge heal. Highest in the game without any extra bonuses based off of my knowledge. He really is super tanky, and his HP stat being so high also helps with that. But going into the passive skills, magic resistance. That's it. You'd think the best friend of Gilgamesh, created by gods or whatever, would have more than just freaking magic resistance. But whatever, this saves me time. Moving on. Alright, here's the NP. Our clay buddy has a pretty cool NP going for it. You know, Enuma Elis. Oh, humans, let us restrain the gods. They keep making new anti-classifications of things, you know. With Ishtar, it was anti-mountain, even though she throws a planet at you. This is an anti-purge buster noble phantasm with 5 hits. Big damage to a single target with a 500% chance to stun a divine enemy. It's nice that it's buster and shares similarities with Sakath. But Enkidu gets a defense down debuff on the enemy, while Sakath has that death chance. Later on, Sakath, well, not later, you can actually get it now. Sakath does get the guaranteed stun, though. So when it comes to that single target usability, I might just put Sakat a little bit higher. And she does have that quick buff steroid herself to compete with Enkidu's Buster steroid. So it's pretty close there. I just like Sakat's kit personally a little bit more. And otherwise, this is a pretty good MP. 500% chance on Divine Enemy. There are a lot of Divine Enemies in the game. It really feels like he's meant to kill Gil. It's kind of funny. But moving on to his traits. Enkidu has the second lowest attack of his fellow 5-star Lancers. But he's got crazy high HP. His star gen is great. Enkidu is literally like the jack of all trades character, but master of none. Can do a lot of different things in the game, but doesn't 100% excel at any specific role, which is nice. It gives you a level of flexibility that other servants may not give you. He does have the second highest HP as well. It's the second lowest attack of Lancers, but second highest HP. But otherwise, the stats are pretty much standard all around, and I don't really want to waste too much time on that. As usual, here it is. It's on the screen. You can see it. Boom. All right, let's talk about the CEs. The three I wanted to bring it down to was Holy Night Dinner, 3 Great Heroes, and Made in Halloween. Holy Night Dinner is currently from the Christmas event. If you do not get a fifth drop, you really should. This CE is really good. One of the best CEs because it's so general, which is also why it works so well on Enkidu. It's just NP. It's not based off of Buster or Quick or Arts, just NP changes. So it has a lot of flexibility with a lot of different servants. And of course, 3 Great Heroes is pretty good too. Another NP kind of focused craft essence. And finally, I wanted to put in Made in Halloween as kind of an honorable mention because I do see Enkidu as this really tanky character. And Made in Halloween gives his final heal an almost full HP heal. That's crazy. That's like all his HP. So if he gets down to like 2-3k, you can just pop that with Made in Halloween and he's back to full if you're making him a kind of tank character. But otherwise, there's a lot of other CEs you can run on him. Just because he is a jack of all trades, you can run Imaginary Round or 2030 as a support. A lot of options because he can do a lot of different jobs pretty well. Moving on to the party members. So I know I've been repeating it, but he's a jack of all trades here, so his party members can be very diverse. If you want to have Enkidu focus on damage, which I don't see him as that character for me personally, if I do pull him, then Waiver Merlin, of course, helps a lot. Put them into one category just because they'll be on like every single one. Otherwise, he's a great crit star generator for characters like Gil or Okita because they have a huge steroid for crit star gathering. And thanks to his 3 quick cards, he really does synergize well with Okita to create and use crit stars consistently. Helena is a low weight caster who can buff him and help him do more damage as well. And Zerkalot really does help because he can create stars with his MP, and as long as you don't use his crit star absorb skill, he won't take those stars. So even though we have the Lancer's crit weight not being the highest, compared to a Berserker and a caster, he'll still get most of the crit stars based off of probability, at least. And really, you can't go wrong with giving him Saberlot either. Saberlot could just be the opposite, He'll create the stars, and then Saberlot will use the crit stars to be the crit saber that he is. And it's just a nice balance. I really like him because I can use him with a bunch of different characters and it opens up a lot of different possibilities for gameplay. But he himself, if you just look at him by himself, it's kind of tough to give him a proper rating. But yeah, so should you pull for our clay buddy for Enkidu? Overall, Enkidu is a good unit. There are other Lancers that I believe do a better job than him when it comes to damage. For tank purposes, he's great. But I do wish he had some sort of aggro move on him so you can reliably tank. You could just use a skill, something like Emi Assassin skill. But the main time I would use him is if I was facing a Divine Enemy, which, yes, are relatively common, but still a niche focus. Since he does have this niche focus and kind of jack of all trades, not master of one, with servants like Quetz, Merlin, Musashi coming out, it may be better off to hold. It may be better to hold off for now on your husbando. So he gets an avoid from me for now. If he does spook me, I wouldn't be mad. But just based off of what everyone else can do in the game and everybody who's coming out soon, damage is very important. And other characters will just do more damage than him. If you do want to run a tank stally setup, you can do that too. But overall, with Merlin, Quetz, King Hassan, Musashi, they all work well with Merlin. So does, of course, to an extent, Enkidu. But it's really just how you want to run him. Oh, of course, if you do think he's your husband, and you want to reunite him with your potential guild that you have, if you're lucky enough, go for it. You'll see some work. You'll even run him with guild to have a good team comp going on. But otherwise, I do hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, like, comment, subscribe to become a weeb today. Make sure to check us out on Twitch and Twitter, linked in the description below. I am streaming a lot more often. I'll be gone until like Thursday though, just because I have to go up to Boston and take care of some stuff. But after that, we're going to be back on it. Let me know what you guys think of Enkidu. These, of course, is all my opinions. Let me know if I got anything wrong. Maybe you can show me a team comp that he actually does a lot better in than his competitors. I'd be happy to learn more about that, but this was just based off my research I spent the last day or two doing. So yeah, no, otherwise this has been Durka, and sayonara.